My future sister-in-law threatened to go no contact if I don't give her one of the heirloom jewelry pieces. She tried to guilt-trip me with her tears, but I am standing firm on my decision to pass them down to my daughters. My mother passed away 10 years ago, and I, 53 female, inherited a few select items of jewelry from her. Those are things she cherished and wore often. I have been wearing her watch for the past 10 years. My sister, 50 female, holds a golden bracelet that she loves, and there are 3 items left that me and my sister have been planning to give to my 3 daughters to commemorate 10 years since her passing. They always knew this and were close to their grandma. There is also no quarrel about who gets what. Enter my brother, 48 male, and his fiancée, 38 female of 2 years. My brother is demanding one of the pieces for his future wife to wear. He claims we never involved him in any discussion as to what should happen to the pieces, and we can't just claim those to ourselves just because we are women. He says it's very common for heirloom jewelry to be given to the daughter-in-law, and he and his fiancée even cited Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton as examples. Legally, there is no case to be made. My mother left those items to me. I have politely declined their request, explaining that I can't let one of my daughters go without, and that they were very close to their grandma, while his fiancée did not know her. His fiancée is apparently distraught and claims we don't see her as family. My father wants me to keep the items and give one to my brother, so that all of my mom's kids eventually get one item, and I can do as I see fit with the rest. My sister kindly has offered up her bracelet. I am torn. I don't want to antagonize my brother and my sister-in-law, but I find my 3 daughters' claims so much more valid. They have been looking forward to this for years, and I don't want my sister to sacrifice her bracelet. If there were more pieces, I would not hesitate to give something to her. It's not a matter of money. I have offered other things out of my mom's estate. They feel it's not the same. I am also taking into account that my brother was married to his first wife 10 years ago, and despite having been close to my mother, she got no jewelry either, but was left 2 of my mother's watercolor drawings. I feel like my mother left those pieces to me with the intention of eventually passing them on to her granddaughters. Would she have subscribed to each child or each daughter plus daughter-in-law has to get a piece of jewelry logic? She would have left something to my brother, or his then wife in the first place. My daughters told me they would accept any decision I make, but I feel it would be highly unfair to burden them with any involvement in the decision-making. The choice is mine to make, and I have to live with the consequences. According to my father, they are debating on uninvite me from the wedding over this. I stand by my decision, but it's hard. I was always on good terms with my brother and cordial with his fiancée. Update. Thank you all for your kind messages and advice. I would never have expected to get so valuable support and insight from strangers on the internet. Thank you really from the bottom of my heart. We came together with my brother and his fiancée after I had many of your replies to my husband and my sister. I stated clearly that I will support her in any way possible, and that it's very important for me to welcome home to the family properly. But the jewelry is off the table because I believe I am fulfilling my mother's wishes and I cannot hurt my daughters. I added that I believe that this is not the right way to join a family, and that we should strive to resolve this conflict before it creates more tension between my daughters and their uncle and future aunt, and also amongst us siblings. At first, I thought my brother really saw my point, and he seemed happy that we offered to pitch together to buy something for his fiancée. Unfortunately, she is not willing to accept this. As some of you pointed out, she seems to believe that she ranks right beside my sister and me when it comes to our late mother and supersedes my daughters. Well, she talked about her rightful place in the family and how she went no contact with her family because they denied her the respect that she deserves, and that she will not hesitate to do the same with us. She also talked a lot about the pain of not being able to have any heirloom jewelry for her wedding. And honestly, I believe only a few days ago I would have given and presented with her tears, but thanks to your kind words I was able to see through her emotional manipulation, and really now that I am aware of what she's doing, it is so obvious. I must say my brother looked very uncomfortable. She then stated that it would be a waste to give the pieces to my daughters since they would just sell them for the money to buy makeup, which is absurd. I ended the conversation at this point stating that I hold firm to my boundary and that they are free to do whatever they feel is the right thing for them. I am heartbroken and I hope my brother will change his mind. So, no happy ending, but thanks again. I told my boyfriend that his daughter is not allowed in my apartment after she repeatedly smuggled peanuts in, knowing I have an allergy. I broke up with him after she told me I'm not meant to survive. I can't have any contact with peanuts, and I am terrified of them due to some bad experience and ending up in the hospital. I have my shots now on me all the time. It is not exactly airborne, but I could have irritation, and if it, for example, touched something that had been in contact with peanuts, I could have swollen eyes and icky nose and throat. Ingesting is fatal. She is 14 and has no respect whatsoever for my anxiety. My boyfriend and I moved in, and she lives with us every other week. Now I told my boyfriend that I don't want her here because she is not respecting my boundaries. But that I understand that he doesn't want to live with me in that case. We could revert back to him being with me when he doesn't have his daughter. He got very upset because he said that he loved me and wanted a real relationship and to live in one home. So I told him that maybe he should be with someone who isn't allergic then. He thinks I am being very unfair. He said, well, she will probably hate the next one too and the next because she wants her mom and me to be together again, so it wasn't me specifically that she dislikes. I said that maybe he needs to take a break from dating then until she is on board, but he said that he couldn't be single just because his daughter wants him to. Before me he was single for 6 years, and that wasn't good enough. Before we decided to move in together, we have done some trial living together, and never once did his daughter do anything about the nuts. But now for 4 months she always has peanuts with her. I don't know why she is doing this. I thought we were cool. She just smirks and says maybe if you are so allergic, maybe you're not meant to survive. Update. Hi everyone. Thank you so much for really caring about a stranger with a dilemma. I was glad that I wasn't wrong in my guts. I told my boyfriend that I wanted to break up. He was very sad and tried to reason with me. He suggested that we could live separately. His daughter will soon be an adult. I told him that being 18 doesn't guarantee that she leaves the nest, nor that he stops being a father either. Anytime she could come across hardships and wants to move home, and she needs to find that home. She couldn't have it with me. And about living separately. While it is fine now and some few years ahead. What about the future? He was silent and listening to me. I felt overwhelmed because I love him. He said that the only way his daughter will be happy is when he is alone. She is in therapy, but she has not shown any regards for her father or his life. She seems to not see him as an individual with feelings. He is just a father. I didn't know what to tell him and just said that she probably needed time to grow up. Until he moves out, his daughter is not allowed to be in my apartment. She called and threw a tantrum about her father choosing me instead. That she has the right to live with her father every other week and this shouldn't change. I didn't say anything. They need to fix this as a family. I am not a part of this family anymore. He rented his apartment for a year's contract, so I don't know how he will manage to find a new or terminate the lease so he could move back to his old apartment. Anyway, he is staying here for a couple of months. I am very sad that this beautiful relationship has come to an end, but I need to think about myself now. Update. He has decided to move away for a while. He has spoken to his current tenants about getting back his apartment. They have 8 months left on the lease. But they're willing to move out in 6 if he paid them 2 months' rent. He has agreed. But here's the thing. He is moving away in a month or so. He has been talking to his ex about her getting full custody, indefinitely. I didn't want to interfere, but he said that he needed to teach his daughter a lesson because he is tired. I don't know what his plan is, but he seems to want to try this for some months, but tell his daughter it is indefinitely. She has been calling him all day, but he isn't answering her. He is not going to stay here for 6 months. He is planning on taking work assignments in other cities, something he never did before. He is leaving in the end of this month or the first week of June.